This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
The aftermath of every social revolution brings about change. Cultural norms and landmarks shift as our minds and hearts expand beyond the familiar. To everything, there is a season and a time to every purpose in the land of the living. This is our time to renew, revive, and restore the hope lost to the busyness of life. This is our time to dig again and rebuild from the storms of our past on a solid footing that holds. Welcome to The Foundation.
The Foundation.
The Foundation is brought to you by Alive, Bonneville Bones, Burger King, Commonwealth Bank, ESC Distributors Limited, Grand Bahama News, Halsbury Chambers, Marco's Pizza, Britmasters, and Ron's Electric Motors.
Foundation. The Foundation. The Foundation.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant in your company, The Foundation, on this beautiful Wednesday. Live and in full effect. I'm grateful to be in your company as always. Always happy to be here with you. I got some stories to tell you. I feel like Biggie today. I got a story to tell. We're going to talk about these things. Today is Wednesday, so it's a hump day, so we're going to be diving into some good conversations. I got my good guy in the house with me. Going to help me chop these things down. I got to shout out my good, decent people over at AFS Insurance Agents and Brokers. They got everything laid out. Make sure you check them out. 407 Blue Hill Road, 3411 AFS. They can take very good care of you. And they do in-house financing. Now, I suppose that's only for bulk. But you ask for my good friend, Ethric, bro. He'd be more than happy to assist you in those areas. 3411 AFS, 3411 AFS. Guys, make sure you pick up your Guardian newspaper. All the information's in there. BPL managers worry over future. We talked about this several times ad nauseum, and I suppose that they're continuing to be able to worry about this. And this is the union left confused by the minister. This is petroleum retailers call off the protest. They call off for 25 cents. They call off the protest. This is big bucks. Pintard says that the government's performance has been lackluster. I don't fight him on that. And the JCNP defends their decision to place Way Forward Group in F category, which is peculiar to me. I listened to the entire press conference. It felt like a contradictory. I'm not going to fight it. We're going to chop it down and talk about it. We heard the Chairman Dion Miller, being able to take on this kind of position and say that persons who are in a part of the JCNP, right? We've been established for 20 years, and if you're in a part of JCNP, you don't know the information. You lack the information. You don't understand how we operate on the inside of this particular space, and you're wrong for pushing your nose in people's business. Well, we're going to push your nose a little bit more. Once you bring it out to the public, this is where we dissect the situation. We're going to do that. Guys, in the studio with me is none other than my very good friend, Garth Roseborough, the big man in charge. Remark on Sundays from 5 to 6:30 p.m. Remark. He's here chopping the thing down. Garth, say good afternoon to the people out there.
Well, thank you, Howard Grant. It's good to be here again in your company as usual. Looking forward to a very healthy discussion. Looking forward to you people who will be calling in to either speak with Howard Grant or to query or to even have a difference of opinion. This is the program for that. This is your During the Week program, The Foundation with Howard Grant. And for those who want to continue with some good conversation this Sunday on Remark, we'll be speaking about agriculture here in the Bahamas. Whether we're lazy or we're just simply spoiled, or is there another culprit in the room? We're going to get down to the bottom of that.
What agriculture got to do with lazy?
Well, people perceive that Bahamians just are too lazy to farm, so we always hire the expats or
That's
the
a low
migrants.
level of thinking.
It's a very low level, but we have to deal with that low level of thinking. We got to deal with the higher level of thinking, but we need to move agriculture in this country. And it's a very political conversation because someone is hampering the progress of agriculture in this country, whether it's a lack of resources in terms of land, heavy-duty equipment, seedlings, whatever the case may be. We have to get to the bottom of this. So I have people coming in like Arnold Dorset, former Assistant General Manager, BAIC. I have Michelle Evin coming in. She's one of the more forward backyard farmers in the country. We have Ms. Vitlyn Miller, very fiery woman. She was the Farmer of the Year last year. We have Senator Reuben Ramming coming in as well on the House. And guess who else is sneaking in the room? Leonard Sands himself said he has to be here for this conversation. So it's going to be a very hot discussion on Sunday. You don't want to miss it. And then I can't wait to get Howard on the set. You know, Howard is going to be a guest on my show very soon. And that's going to be a political show, by the way. Something just to build the country. We can't be on the same level at all times. But I like Howard's company. So I'm looking forward to having him also on the show very soon.
What I look forward to it also, as you're talking about these seedlings and taking on this kind of position to talk about what's happening, I had an opportunity to be able to watch the press conference from the JCNP, right? And I listened to Mr. Dion Miller, who is the chairman of the organization, and being able to talk from a scripted position and really being able to say this is what our position is as it relates to what's happening. Mm-hmm. I'm still left confused.
Howard, it's very difficult to confuse you, you know.
No, but that's a very good point, right? Because, you know, I kind of enjoy the fact that I comprehend things.
Yes.
And if I don't comprehend it, I go over it and mull it in my head. But as a result of what has happened, I'm still left confused. Wow. That doesn't mean that they haven't come to a resolve. They've resolved the issue. But for me, there's questions that exist, okay? The question that I have, and they can fight me for asking this question. They figure this is a dead horse. Howard, why are you beating it? Because I'm confused. I'm confused as to the operation of your business. Okay, there's business with the government of the Bahamas. Let's say hypothetically I get a contract. The government identifies what I can do. I can be awarded the contract before I can get my money. I have to be registered on several systems to identify whether or not I have any infractions, whether or not there's any arrears, anything that I do or is due to the government.
Yes.
From my standpoint over the years, so they do all this checking before I'm registered.
Yes.
They do all this checking. For me to be able to get a business license, I have to register my name. After I register my name, I can take my business license, the name of my company, and now go to Inland Revenue and register that company. Inland Revenue checks back with the Registrar General to make sure that this name is good, that nobody else has this, and so forth and so on. All these things. And now I take this business license with the company of a TCC. In the event that my company doesn't make more than $100,000, I don't have to contribute to the government. If I make right under $100,000, I don't have to contribute. If I make more than that, the government has a requirement. Okay, I go through all the formalities. Only at that point, I am recognized and established in this country as a businessman.
I'm with you so far.
Okay, only at that point. The JCNP is indicating that the Valley Boys, the name Valley Boys, was registered in their system for a very long time. This Way Forward group with Trevor Davis is indicating that this was not registered in the Registrar General Department. I am absolutely confused. How can a business, an entity that is receiving monies on behalf of a conglomerate in this country not have that formalization? Now, this ain't me saying Trevor them right. This is me simply asking the question, how can the JCNP supersede the rules and regulations that govern the laws that govern the Bahamian citizens as it relates to doing business? How can the JCNP register you as a business, as an entity, as a company, as a Junkanoo group in the A category where you're receiving monies and you are competing for monies? So they register you in an A category where there is a prize money. But you have not been registered and gone through the formalities of what the government requires you to do. I am absolutely baffled by this. I'm baffled by this. And as they tried to be able to dive deeper into the press conference, Mr. Dion Miller kept passing it over to, he said, well, I can talk to this one. We'll talk to I think there was Khalil Parker in the room, right? He'll be able to answer this question. Or talk to the other gentleman who was there. He'll be able to answer this question. And so there was no clarity for me. This is for Howard Grant. Y'all call me, cuss me out, say whatever you want to. It don't matter to me because I am genuinely confused as to how an entity that was established by the government for the purposes of a perceived quasi-government for the operation and the conduct, the smooth movement and operation of the Junkanoo, the culture that we express in this country. You are created by the government. How can you supersede the rules and regulations that govern the country? I'm confused about it. And then also, what's confusing to me is why the Minister Mario Baudelaire, would take on this kind of a position to give both of them $30,000. That is confusing to me, because fund groups don't get no money. Man, talk to me. I just want to be decent. Fund groups don't get no money. A groups just get a $30,000 seed. Now, Mr. Dion Miller, as he answered this particular question, he said he can't answer on behalf of the minister involved, but that was done to his discretion. But this is what's happening within the JCNP. Is there a requirement now, given the fact that the JCNP has gone contrary to the minister's position? Is there a requirement now for you to bring the money back? I mean, I need to know. I need to know. I need to know how we doing business in this country.
Well, it sounds to me as if there's some emotional turmoil in the situation. The Valley Boys and the group, the Valley Boys, is a staple in our culture when it pertains to Junkanoo. And each of us in our mind is almost like the PLP and the FNM. Either we one group or the other. I grew up simply just loving the Saxons, because back in the day as a child, that was the winning group. We like winners. That's who Bahamians enjoy, winners. And, them and the Valley Boys, and back in the day, I think even the Music Makers was really a strong contender. But as we all have now had our own thoughts and our own persuasions and our own likings, I think a lot of that has now affected this particular decision. I think what needs to really happen in this situation is they need to go back to the drawing board. The problem with going back to the drawing board is that there is pressure that's being applied from individuals in these groups. They want resolution. Time is not on their side, as this is now the month of September, and we're looking forward to a very healthy Junkanoo showdown for the month of December, the 26th, for Boxing Day, the first of the year. And right now, it almost seems to me that the energy needed to bring this to proper resolve is not being fully exercised. Maybe we're having a negotiation issue, because it's very clear to me that the interest of all is not being addressed. You need to just sit down, Howard, and find out what the interests are of each of these groups. Then you need to find out.
The chairman says that he recognizes that the Valley Boys is going through a divorce.
Okay, and divorces happen. It's a reality. So we know that there is an issue. So we need to put down all the issues in this particular situation. As you write down your interest and you look at the issues, then you now look at the options. What are your options in the situation? You have to exhaust every option possible. Once the options are all exhausted, you have to then look at the alternatives, because there are always alternatives. There's never one way to do anything. And then you look at the nature of the relationship. You look at the mode of communication, who has, as you just said earlier, the authority to deal with this matter. And then you need to come to some form of a commitment. But it's very seeming to me that there's a lot of haste and emotion involved in this situation, and they need to take that out of this conversation.
Well, guys, I see that you already got the lines lit up and you want to be able to dive into that. This is only a little piece of something that we can talk to, because I was at the House of Assembly today being able to distribute these letters, and I get cuts. I can tell you. When we get back after this.
Foundation. The foundation.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Never again. Are you tired of the same old 5K runs? Want something more? Then get ready for the Chick Charney Challenge City Run on September 28th, starting at Crypto Wild. Test your strength, stamina, and spirit. It takes all of you to dodge, climb, conquer obstacles as you race through the heart of the city. Lace up and get to the Chick Charney Challenge City Run. Register now on our website, chickcharneychurn.com, or on our social media pages. Brought to you by Colina, Island Yogurt, Advantage Insurance, Art of Graphics, Crypto Wild, and Guardian Radio 96.9.
Bahamas, are you ready? Keep the vibe alive. Music group, along with Alpha Sounds, present the best of the best. Raking Scrape Explosion Reloaded. This is the biggest one-day all-Bahamian concert of the year. Featuring KB, D-Mac, Abby, Mama D, Fan Sean, Shine 242, The Falcons, and more. Mark your calendars. It's going down November the 2nd at Super Club Breezes Ground. Tickets now available at BahamasEtickets.com or both Beauty Shack location. General admission $60. VIP, Skybox, and Skybox also available. For more info, call 394-0819 or email keepthevibealive242@gmail.com. Experience the magic once again with more legends for one night only. Come party with us November 2nd at Best of the Mass. Rake and Scrape Explosion Reloaded.
Hi, I'm Dr. Gregory Pinto. Join me every Wednesday for The Urologist Speaks, a brand new talk show here on Guardian Radio. Each week, my co-host Julian Reed and I will be discussing an array of health topics related to men, women, and children, such as men always being able to rise again and women regaining control of their bladder, and many, many more. The Urologist Speaks, Wednesdays from 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. here on Guardian Radio 96.9.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant and your company, The Foundation. Grateful to be in your company, live and full effect. I'm here with none other than Garth Roseborough, being able to chop these things down and just having good conversation. We started off with the fact that I am a little befuddled. I'm baffled. I lack the understanding. I just gonna be honest with you. I could be naive. I could be fool. I don't know. I don't know. I can admit I don't know. I don't understand. But what I do understand is formality. What I do understand is the progressive steps necessary to be able to identify yourself formally from a business standpoint in this country. And what I do not hear is that aligning with what I'm seeing coming out of the JCNP. Now, somebody just texted me and say, Howard, every day, this is what they text me, I read the whole text, right? They say, Howard, you're looking more and more daily like a way forward Valley boy to me than a true world famous Valley boys. Do you mind disclosing your position? So I said, LOL, I'm a swinger from Grand Bahama. Let's just be very clear. That's the Grand Bahama junk of the group, Platinum and the Swingers, right? So he says, then you all should be mad that a group participating in the fun category got as much as y'all. This is it says. Make this make sense. It's a text. I'm telling you, I don't understand. I don't understand that there are too many cooks in the kitchen. There are too many chiefs and not enough Indians to be able to execute these things. There is a lack of communication and a lack of symmetry that pulls these things together to say that this is what we're going to do. And I believe, and this is what I said to Trevor, and this is what I said to Mr. Jones, who was here with us. So I said to them, I believe that there is a fight for relationships. Everything that I've heard the chairman actually utter was the fact that we need to be able to preserve the culture, the memory, and the relationship that existed with the world-class Valley Boys. I can't fight him for that. I understand that. But does that mean that you supersede rules, regulations, laws that govern this country to be able to ensure that you could do? I just want to know. I just want to know. Don't fight me, enlighten me. Amen? Let me go to the lines real quick. Call on the line, go ahead.
Hello, Howard.
Hey, what's up?
Sparky here.
What's up, Sparky?
Hello?
Yeah, Sparky, go ahead.
Okay, trying to hear you a little late on this way. I'm on about 20 corner. In traffic. How would you know this? How would you agree? I agree. I think the whole Junkanoo committee and community agree. This is very simple, you know. This ain't nothing to do with the JCNP.
Nothing.
This ain't nothing to do with the courts.
Nothing.
This is all about the Valley Boys. For example, right now, listen to me, Howard. Listen to me carefully. This ain't nothing to do with my mother's side of the Valley Boys or nothing. I am passing through Claridge Road right now, Howard.
Mm-hmm.
Howard, hey, you hear me, Howard?
Go ahead, Sparky.
I am passing through Claridge Road right now. I wanted to pull into the yard by the Valley Boys shop. I am on some pills trying to get the fluid out of my body, and I need to urinate. There's no bathrooms at the Valley Boys shack in Claridge Road, the big shack. Where women go to help them, the husbands and children go to help their daddies them get their costumes ready. After 66 years of being in charge of the Valley Boys, the Brian Hardy group has not even built bathrooms. Trevor is saying, let the group vote, have an election, because Trevor them want to build bathrooms and things around the Valley Boys Junkanoo shacks. When families come out to fix costumes and things, and they have to urinate or stool, there's a restroom in the area. Why should I go right now? I am going through Claridge Road. Can I ask Brian Hadley, do I have a mission to go on the side of the shack and urinate?
Sparky, your phone must be cut off. Hey? Don't fight me. I suppose you mean relieve themselves. I just want to be decent, right? But let me tell you something. I just want to be this, and I don't want to talk about Valley Boys all day. Jesus, I don't have the time. I want to say this though. Every organization requires a subsector and a subcommittee to be able to execute an agenda that you have. That's why we have ministries. That's why we have a prime minister. That's why we have deputy prime minister, even though Professor says, happy birthday, Professor, even though Professor says that is not constitutionally sound, deputy prime minister, and deputy leader, and all these particular things. However, every division, subdivision has a person to be able to oversee and execute those things according to what that ministry requires, according to the portfolio assigned in that ministry. If you are in a group, whether that's your church, whether that's your Junior Achievers organization, whether that is Kiwanis, whether that is the Rotary Club, whether that is the Pilots Club, whether that is your Lodge, Prince Hall, whether that is you are a Guiding Star, whether that is you are F&M or a PLP, whether that is you are Valley Boy, a Saxon, a Roots, a One Family, it don't matter. Every organization requires a tiered leadership. Everyone. If you got a body of people that you're dealing with and you have objectives to be able to get to, you need leadership. You need someone to speak on behalf of the organization. That means you need PR. You need people to identify community executions to be able to do those things in the community. That means you need an outreach division. You need people to be able to feed them. You need someone to be able to do sanitization. What the hell is people doing? This is how business is done. How can you be like the former Prime Minister Perry Christie after 40 years, who walking up and down and people say, man, nobody can use the toilet out here. Well, I didn't even know that they didn't have running pumps and toilets out there. How? Have we not learned anything in this country, or do we not value the people that we serve? You see, because the issue is that we don't serve people. People serve us. That is the problem. That is the problem. That's why the man called former Prime Minister Perry Christie, oh, look at Jesus Christie coming through. Yeah. Because the mindset in politics right now, the mindset that has been released and people grab hold to and wouldn't let go, is that people going to serve me when I get in this space.
Oh, yeah.
The devil is a liar. That is why I always like what Ali say.
Ali?
Yeah, she said that she is the servant leader. Ali McIntosh.
What does servant leader mean?
It was just what I tell you.
Have you seen that?
You have to be a servant before you can be a leader. What you mean, in her or you mean in general?
In her.
I didn't tell you what I said I always like what Ali say.
Oh, okay.
I'm very clear when I talk to them. Praise Jesus. Let me answer the telephone. Caller on the line, go ahead.
Hey, good afternoon.
Hey, what's up, Anton?
How you doing, Howard?
Hey, good man, what's up?
Right up. What's going on?
Right here, my brother.
You all right?
Yeah, man, living. And
All
listening
right,
to
all
Howard
right, all
today, just put things into perspective.
All right.
I'm listening to him. South Beach doesn't have a bathroom, You got tourists out there that come all the time. The guys that play dominoes and backgammon and checkers and everything, and there's no restroom. You got to use the grape tree. But that's some sweet grape. I ain't gonna lie to you, the grape sweet. But go ahead.
I rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
Don't eat the grapes out there. Jesus.
I rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
Best sea grape in the Bahamas.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon to the nation.
Uh-huh.
As it relates to this whole debacle, Howard, and I'm waiting for you to make the shift over onto the political side, by the way. But I just wanted to interject a quick comment or two while you're here. As it relates to this whole mess, and it really is a mess. And now it's implicating, this mess has moved from the Valley Boys and spilling out into the public domain in a very unprofessional, very unacceptable, very disgraceful, and very nasty manner. It has moved from the Valley Boys organization and impacting its membership, in addition to that, to now implicating the government of the Bahamas. That's how this thing is taking a nasty spin, right? I don't know if you all even recognize it. It's now implicating the government of the Bahamas, as well as it's seeking to implicate the legal body with the legal authority who regulates the Junkanoo Parade, the JCNP, although I see through their interview, because I didn't watch it live, but I watched the clip. I see through their interview that they're setting their record straight. Now, Howard, you asked a very important question, right? Which is what led me to call in. Well, you were suggesting that it appears as though the JCNP is not complying with the rules and regulations set by the government of the Bahamas, which is the only legal body that has the authority to make such rules and regulations. However, Howard, I put it to you, just based on what I see happening, right? Mm-hmm. That the JCNP has already established what their rules and regulations are as the independent body governing the parade. And apparently their rules and regulations don't speak or don't call in any way, shape, or form anything to do with registering your company at the Registrar General's Department.
So how you can get the money?
Not come into play.
How you can get the money? How after I win and they will give me X amount of dollars, how I can get the money?
Let me make my point, and then I want you to try to dig me up if you can, right? It appears as though their requirements simply call for you to have your company registered under the Business License Department, right? With the name, which is a government body. The Business License Department and the Registrar Department are both government bodies. And so, in my view, as someone observing who's been a Valley Boy supporter for 40-plus years of my young life, right? It appears as though this problem now lies on the government side, because if you are registering your company name at the Business License Department, there should be the point at which you are stopped and told you cannot register legally as this name, because this name is already taken up.
I agree with you 150%.
Under the registrar, pardon me?
I agree with you 150%.
Because this name is already taken up under the Registrar Department as this entity by another entity. You can't even use anything close to this name.
You can't, not even similar.
At the Business License Department and as the JCNP expressed. That has absolutely nothing to do with them.
Of
now,
course.
To my mind, this is the last point I want to make on this, Howard. God and the nation, to my mind, The bigger problem is this. If you, and it's going to create a situation for entities in the Junkanoo realm that has previously experienced a similar problem, and for entities in the Junkanoo realm in the future that may run into a similar problem, right? And this is where the courts, in my view, if these individuals seek to go that route, will create a problem for the government's decision to grant the seed money that is entitled to an A group to what the JCNP registered as a fund group. I think that is a big flaw and that is a big problem. Granted, I understand that the minister who made the decision was doing it in the best interest of Junkanoo. There's still another body that is just as important in this whole discussion, which is the JCNP. In my view, that should have been at the table consulting and discussing with the government before the decision was made to grant the seed funding of the A group to what is registered in the JCNP as a fund group. That is a serious problem, and that is yet to be explored or exploded in this country.
Well, I thought you was going to ask the real question. I got to let you go. I got to take this quick break, Anton, but I thought you was going to ask the real question that I want to hear. How can the minister, Mario Boleg, identify additional funds to distribute without proper registration? Because the way forward would have been the way backward if they didn't have no contribution. But because you empowered them, they feel infused to pursue this thing. Let's be decent. Quick break. Be right back after this.
Foundation. You try to rest, roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers, for window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Bonneville Bones, established in 1970, is the leader in men's fashion in the Bahamas. We're conveniently located in the mall at Marathon and the Harbor Bay Shopping Plaza, and fully stocked with everything you need for all occasions. Our Harbor Bay location is one door north of Alive, with the black and white signage of Bonneville Boutique. Both locations are open from 10 to 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Bonneville Bones and Bonneville Boutique, still the leader in men's fashion, located in the mall at Marathon and the Harbor Bay Shopping Plaza.
When you jump in your Japanese import and you turn the radio on, all you hear is... For the month of September, the Hit Spot will install a band extender in your Japanese import for the discounted rate of only $79.99, VAT included. Get your band expander installed today at the Hit Spot and listen to Star 106 Smart Talk on
Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM.
Foundation. Foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant in your company, The Foundation, live and in full effect on this beautiful Wednesday, chopping it down, just being able to talk about these things. And I just thought I would shove that out there, kind of scooch it out there and let you know that I'm confused, man. I'm baffled. If I was a F group, you all need to give the Bushwhackers $30,000 also. You all need to stop it. You need to give the Bushwhackers $30,000 also. Amen? I can't even get no amen. They will get Persian palms to wrap around to be able to do those things. We got to be able to see that. Well, I want to talk a little politics today. I had an opportunity to be able to distribute my my letters. I told you I wrote up 39 letters. I got 9 letters left. I got Kirk Cornish. I got Adrian Gibson. And a couple other persons' letters that I didn't have the opportunity to be able to give out this morning. But it was great seeing everybody, bright, smiling, excited to be able to kind of contribute into the House of Assembly today, being able to come in. And so I stood there, and I was met with a little spiciness. And I thought it was good. It made for good form. I enjoyed it. It wasn't bad. In the member for Elizabeth, JoBeth. What is this? I hear you all talk about me on your show yesterday, Howard. I said, what JoBeth did you say? Me? This is what the people say. Hey, listen to me. I don't know what y'all F&M. This is what she tell me now. I told you. I say, me? F&M? Call them. Ask them if I say F&M. Never. You'll never see it. Right? So, I think the form of politics that we've taken on in this country is poor. When you can't hear your name without being able to be offensive, right? You put up a defense when you hear your name instantaneously, takes away from the ability to have a good conversation for you to explain your point. Can I say that? That makes sense? Just hearing your name without context. You didn't give me no context. Because I only repeat what I hear the people from Elizabeth tell me. My God, I then talked to at least 9 people from various times, and I collected this information. That's why I said, let me give these letters out, because when we start talking about your constituency, you may take it personal. This is not personal. I don't have no problem with nobody.
Well, first of all, Howard, Bahamas and those listening around the world, Howard looks like a bishop today. I
got to get my chain, put it in my pocket.
He got all his clothes on today. So I would just like to thank you for taking the time out to go to Bay Street today.
I got to be professional with these people.
And to do your professional service. A person like Minister Colby Davis, you have to understand that she has been under attack numerous times by different
I always
entities.
like JoBeth. She know I always throw a blow for her. She's my girl.
She's a beautiful lady.
But that ain't what I cannot go against the fact that I've spoken to almost 10 people collectively, and we're here on the radio and having good conversations, and we're listening and hearing. We're giving information and we're getting information every day, but various constituencies. And I said to you, I've already identified who may not be there. I had JoBeth Colby in my mind, and I still do, in the winning column. Talk to me. I didn't tell you this. Me and you talk about this. I didn't say I've identified her in this particular position. As we espouse this and we put this out there, people say, oh, no, not her, because of boom, 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 whatever. It may be personal, but it's consistent. And these are not F&Ms I'm talking to. I don't even know people's political affiliation. I'm simply saying this is the position that persons have taken. And if this is sort of the preamble, the disclaimer prior to us getting into this series, this can be a bumpy ride. But I'm ready for it, baby. Let's do it.
Well, I don't think it should be bumpy. I think a wise member of parliament would take notes and listen, because many of them do not visit their constituency on the ground as they should. They're not interacting. I think they actually do wait for their monthly meetings at various locations around the country in hopes that they would hear of much that is happening in their constituency. But this is not the case. As you have said in an earlier show, many people attend these meetings simply to attempt to get contracts or favor. And so this show, as you delve into their performance, and we call this in the professional world performance management, it would behoove them to simply say, you know what, I'm going to take this under advisement and I'm going to pull up my socks. Because what I am now understanding is those people who are now sitting in the House of Parliament, many of them are going to be scrutinized to the point where they may not be renominated for the next general election.
And a scrutiny within your organization.
Yes.
This is scrutiny within your own organization.
Yes.
This ain't public scrutiny.
Yes.
This ain't a constituency-wide scrutiny. This is not from that particular standpoint. Before you even get there, the scrutiny exists in your organization. And so you might as well hear it from us, who can give you transparency, honesty, and give you contribution from those in your constituency. You could even go to the point where you could have your people who support you. Call me. You could have your people who support you. Go to thefoundation.com, thefoundation242.com. Take the poll for Elizabeth. Take the poll for Yamacraw. Take the poll for these particular things. And whatever that poll says, I will put it out here.
You know what I found amazing? There's actually a constituency. I'm not going to call the name of the constituency.
I will call it right now. Go ahead. Let me hear
that felt that the last member of parliament was totally lousy, like just had too much of this particular individual. You being smart, you'll probably figure out which one it is. But they've served more than 2 terms. And now that they have a new member of parliament, they said, Jesus, Lord, help us. This one twice as lousy. And they regret now this new member of parliament. Some have asked for the previous one to come back. And what is crazy about this particular constituency is that you could almost bet your bottom dollar they're going to vote PLP.
Well, we can see. Guys, give me 2 seconds. Let me take these quick calls before we go to a break. Call on the line. Go ahead. Call on the line. Go ahead. Next caller. Call on the line. Go ahead.
Didn't respond.
Call on the line. Go ahead.
Hey. Howard.
Hey, what's up, Anton?
Now you know you.
No, Anton, you got to call back at 1 o'clock, Anton.
You're talking about a woman of business, right?
Yeah, but I ain't getting against her. I like her. And I told you this before. I like her. I'll tell the producer because we got 2 seconds. But I tell you, I ain't getting against Joe Beth. I like Joe Beth. And I tell her this. And I said it publicly. I like her.
She's flawless?
I can't say she's flawless. I think all of us, and I said this to her face, Joe Beth represents the next generation of leadership. No matter the indifference that exists in this particular space, her and all those persons that are in my age category, there is a transition that's inevitable. And all I'm saying is if we identify the flaws, the inconsistencies of what we didn't like in yesterday's leader, and if we identify even a simulation of that in you and we point it out, don't fight us. Make the modifications accordingly and be the shining, unforgettable star that you will be in the future. But you guys got to get rid of some things if the people say that. I don't live with Elizabeth, so I don't know what she did or she didn't do. I don't know. You understand? I don't know whether or not people are judging her based upon her management for what's happening over at BP. I don't know.
I don't think she feels threatened by you. I feel a feeling that.
No, I just think that's her. That's her approach.
She's just
that's her approach.
She's just that's
she
her way. She
told me I like her.
Yeah, she was just tickling you.
My wife know I like her. Yeah, she's a good. I think she's good.
Yeah, she was just tickling you to say, "Hey, what you into?"
I think she's good.
But it ain't
but
nothing
don't
to
fight
it.
me.
But there's nothing to it. I don't think there's anything.
Don't fight me.
I don't think she was
decent.
Yeah, I don't think she was offended.
Let's be decent in this particular space. That's the only thing I want to do. You understand? Because scrutiny, whether the scrutiny come from your mouth and your mind or from a collective, a conglomerate, and you using your mouth to be able to deliver it for me, I'm not going to fight you for it.
So just to balance the conversation when you come back from the news, you see the minister responsible for the royal opposition. You saw what he said on the front page of The Guardian.
She said the PLP's performance is lackluster?
Yeah. Now, there may be some truth to that.
I don't disagree with him.
There may be some truth to that, some serious truth
to that. What you mean some truth?
But I'm just saying let's talk about that after the news because...
There is a collective truth to that. Yesterday we went through the blueprint for change and we've identified the commitments that the PLP has made with clarity. Right? They've made this clarion call and commitment that given us an opportunity, we will do this, this, and this. 54 pages of commitment, 54 pages of concepts and ideas, 54 pages of transition, 54 pages that says to you that we will get to this position that we are indicating. And they haven't gotten collectively 5 pages done.
I would agree with you, but after the news, I'm going to say this to you. As well as we agree with him 100%, the other side of this conversation is that they have been even more lackluster than the government. And that's so disappointing because if the government was lackluster for 3 years, my God, you should have been a shining star by now.
You mean the F&M?
Yes, and I'm extremely disappointed in their performance. I mean, I was actually pulling for them. You took me to the fair. You took me to the convention. I saw with my own eyes Howard Grant, the foundation was there. And I thought they were on their way, but now I almost want to just throw in the towel and give up.
You're looking for a nomination, eh?
No. I was just having some hope for the nation.
Let me take this quick commercial break, ladies and gentlemen. Get to news and be right back after this.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news, intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversation. 96.9 FM.
Foundation. foundation. The foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant and your company, the foundation, live and in full effect on this beautiful Wednesday. Sitting here with Garth Roseborough, just being able to chop down these things and just talking about leadership in our country, the way that we've identified this, the culture that exists, and the murky waters ahead. Come on, my God, I believe that there are rapids ahead. I just want to be decent as I say that there are white water rapids ahead. It's going to be a difficult time from a political standpoint, from a socioeconomic standpoint, for us to be able to stand on a lot of things. I'm hoping that you are charged in your spirit. Wherever you are, whoever you are, I hope that you're quiet enough and allow yourself to be sober enough to hear God being able to speak to you with clarity. Go get your things. Go home where your family come from. Go get your piece of property. Work on your property. Develop those things. Do what you got to do. Though you're sitting down here worrying about who coming in and who ain't coming in, we got to talk. We got to talk with clarity, because a lot of these persons who sit down here with an expectation that they're going to be in the House of Assembly next go round, my God, you ain't going to be here. Now, given the fact that I may not be here either, you know what I'm saying? But we know, Michael Pine told y'all, many of y'all who's sitting in here, y'all ain't going to be here, I'll be right here. Mark didn't make it in.
Well, I think one former parliamentarian, Leslie Miller, also made mention that they better buy one little car from now.
25 of them gone.
A lot of them may be gone. The question is, who is going to replace these individuals? When will we get the House of Assembly correct? We've seen some young talent that
I don't know if that's the question yet.
You don't think so?
Who's going to replace these individuals?
Well, where do we get these people from?
I don't think that's the question yet. Okay, so let's be decent. We have low mileage. I have a truck less than 70,000 miles. I get 70,000 miles on my truck, right? If I have an issue with the truck, I don't just get rid of the truck. I fix the issue.
No. You're talking about management and maintenance.
No, I'm talking about self-reflection and understanding that this is what you need to do.
I'm talking about the Reinhardt Hotel crumbling. This is what we do. I'm talking about Clarence Payne building. See, I'm from Nassau, oh boy. I've watched these things. I talk about the post office on East Street Hill.
So you're saying to me that this is the state that we're in now, dilapidation?
Dilapidation, we get rid of dilapidated
These are
buildings.
brand new members of parliament, a lot of them.
Yeah, they came in brand new, but they looking old. We don't like old. Bahamian people love new. I get used to Bahamian colloquium things.
You still got the plastic on your seat.
Man, some of them got to go.
The car 12
you
years
don't
old.
try to fix these broken toilet. You buy a new one. That's what you do. If you did not perform now, if you calling yourself the Prime Minister of Abaco now, come on, man, my brother. Some people just don't.
I get the PLP business, but I think that he's.
I mean, you spoke about these things. I'm only talking foundation talk now.
We can stick a fork in him.
And then
I get in this business. I don't know.
No, when before they say you biased, which you're not. I will testify that you're not biased. When you look at the royal opposition, they looking old before they can even look new. This is the problem. Opposition. Yes. We want something shiny, something new. We want to see Christmas when we see you. We want to know we spending till we drop. That's what we want. That's the Bahamian culture.
But that's not going to happen.
We want to love you. We want to adore you. We want to worship you.
That's not going to happen now.
I don't see nothing to get excited about. This is my problem. This is why I feel, I want to say depressed, but I'm not a depressed person. I'm always happy because I'm always thankful. But the looking at the House of Assembly right now, you have to ask yourself the question, where are we going as a country? Now, we see some movement in the Progressive Labour Party, new airports, new hospital facility or nursing facility or clinic facility. We're seeing some new things about to emerge. The question is, in the emergence of these things, will they be completed in sufficient time to convince us that you took us serious? Because for the first 3 years, as the royal opposition
it's going to be a difficult
said,
time to be able to emerge. You know why?
Why did you wait so long?
They didn't put emergency and swiftness to ensure that they can get these things off the ground. Right
This
away.
is what I'm talking about.
They should have done that in the first 2 years.
But guess what makes it so beautiful? You got away with it because the royal opposition is not putting any fire under your seat. This is the issue.
I agree with you.
And we have a problem.
I agree with you. Now
Yes.
they can
Howard Grant, you yourself
they're
on the
gonna
foundation
they're
have
gonna-
done more in agitation for decency in this country.
You can cost them custody.
Yeah, but that's your show.
Now watch
That's
me.
you. Don't cost
Let
me.
me say this. And they ain't gonna like this. The royal opposition.
We're not here to be liked.
Okay, so
you
let's-
better make
let's
a
shoot
disclaimer
straight.
now. We're not here to be liked. We're here to be truthful.
Y'all
go
got
ahead.
Michael Pintar working and doing the business of 7 men
That's what's happening.
in his position as leader.
He has no
Now, I don't
lifting
know
assistance.
that. I don't know whether or not that as a result of his inability to delegate. I don't know. I'm not this close to Michael Pintard to know whether or not he delegates authority and say, "I expect you to get this done. I expect you to get this
You
done."
know what?
And have them come back.
You know what?
However, I do see him working the position of all 7 men.
You know something? You're right.
That's just what it is.
And it's not personal.
Delegation requires. See, leadership is also. You need delegation and leadership.
So on a ship, we call it mutiny. Is there possible mutiny in the camp?
No, mutiny could also be by lack of information. So you could be disillusioned to mutiny.
Okay.
Let's say that. What I mean by that is that you could be so detached, and because you're not a part of the rhythm of what's happening, your perceived defiance could cause or looked at as a
Okay.
sense of mutiny.
Let me ask you a question, Howard Grant, if I may do so as the host of the show. You have been involved in politics before, frontline politics, that's what we call it here in the Bahamas, right? I've also been involved. You have the leader, you have the deputy leader, and you have the chairman. When you are the deputy leader, if you are victorious in the polls and the leader loses, what would normally happen in terms of succession?
You believe in that there is just a gradual move forward. That doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen.
Of course not.
So you won your seat in the election. Your
Yeah.
party won the election, but the leader lost.
I said some good stuff about Marco.
You, the deputy leader, won. What happens?
The party still have to make a decision who they want to be the leader. The party still has to go through the democratic process to identify the leader.
So that being correct, right? What do you think happens in the mind of the deputy leader?
The Free National Movement had made a determination when Cecil Wallace Whitfield was in his particular position that no one should lead from the Senate. That if you are a leader in the House of Assembly, if you are a leader of the party, you should also lead in the House, as opposed to being able to lead from the Senate, lead in Parliament, as opposed to lead. This is, I don't think it's constitutional, but I think that it's culturally accepted within the Free National Movement that you need to have a position.
You need to be victorious in the
the
polls.
House of Assembly.
Okay, so let me ask you this
That's
question.
why when they went to the most recent, not the most recent convention, the convention prior to that, when there was a transition that existed in the organization from ministers into, they identify all these men. They looked at Adrian Gibson, they looked at Adrian White, they looked at Shannon Cartwright, they looked at Michael Pintar, they looked at Iram Lewis, they looked at all these men. And they made a determination that from this grouping, we will have our leader.
Okay.
That's what they did.
That is correct. So, question to you now is this then. Do you see future potential leadership in the deputy of the Royal Opposition and the chairman?
Shannon Cartwright is a survivor. He's a survivor.
Is there an aspiration to be
There's
a
always
prime
an
minister one day?
aspiration. No one in House of Assembly could ever tell me that they don't want to be the prime minister. Kirk Cornish has already explained that to us right off the bat.
So So the energy level, I'm trying to get somewhere with you. So the energy level that I'm seeing in the Free National Movement, you made mention that the leader's doing the work of 7 men, and I have to agree with you because he is working, but I don't think he's touching. That's just my view, and maybe he doesn't have time to touch because he's working so hard. So why is he working so
he can
hard?
say this.
And where is the
he can say
assistance
this.
in lifting? I know he can't say that.
He can't say
but
this.
I could say this.
I could say this, and we could have this kind of
So
a
where's the
conversation.
lifting? Where's the
right?
lifting power?
It exists in his back. He have to do the lifting. Now, like I said, I don't know that if that's as a result of delegation or the inability to delegate or identify persons that you trust enough to be able to execute this thing and bring it to fruition for you, or if this is just his MO. This is how he does
in
his
previous
work.
times, there was some heavy lifting done by Mr. Archer himself and also from Mr. Johnson himself. Those are two voices that we're not hearing batting for the Free National Movement at this time.
Listen,
So
you got a
now
chairman,
the leader,
you got a chairman, and you get a deputy leader, and the leader of the opposition. It seems like he's doing everybody work.
Yeah,
and it hasn't stopped. He seems like he's doing everybody work. He's responding to everything. He lifting the water simultaneously while he's responding to everything.
so in the book Animal Farm by George Orwell, we're talking about the donkey in the story because the donkey did all the heavy lifting.
Well, he did it, but the donkey was the leader.
No, the donkey was supper.
Who was the leader?
The donkey became supper.
The pigs was the leader.
Yeah.
Okay.
So who are
Let
the
me-
pigs
let me
in
take
this
a-
story?
The ones that we can't see.
Who do you call?
Let me take a telephone call.
You so-
Call on the line with us live. Go ahead.
Hey, Howard.
Hey, what's up, Anton? You back again? Yes, what's up?
Yeah, who are the pigs?
We can't see them.
Hey, pigs in the morning. John Canoe.
Like, yeah. Good afternoon again. Howard. Very interesting, but I thought you all would have picked up off of where you all left off at before the break regards to the headline in The Guardian, right? I was looking to delve into that story that you all started to talk about, along with my woman of business, the Member of Parliament for Elizabeth, the great constituency of Elizabeth, the Honorable Jobette Colby Davis, right? Let me say this from the start, Howard, because God said it already. I was calling in to say it before I got into what I wanted to say. So let me say it just for persons in TLP land listening in particular from the leadership perspective, right? If there's going to be a dissection or dissecting of conversation, an analysis of conversation, an honest conversation, a responsible, honest conversation, where persons aren't going to be permitted to just make statements or throw negative jobs. They're going to be challenged. They're going to be made to account to their statement, to provide proof of their statements, similar to what Shivago does on his show. Howard, your show is the place to be, okay? And I'm not saying there aren't others on Guardian that's doing it, but we are talking about you right now. So the conversation is about the foundation, right? And for those members of Parliament that are listening, or that will get information from those who like to corrupt and contaminate information, similar to what the former FNM administration did at the trials of certain former PLP cabinet ministers, Howard Show the one. I believe that Howard is very fair, and I believe that if there is one person you can trust to have that conversation with or participate in that conversation with, it is Howard. Not that there aren't others, but we are speaking about Howard right now. So I give you that respect completely, Howard. I give you that honor. And as it relates to what you were saying, my woman of business said to you, like God was saying, that's a personality.
She know I like her, though.
And not many understand
she know I like
her personality, right? It's a very positive, energetic one, and it's a very direct one. Similar to you, Howard, similar to me, and similar to God. Very direct. But once you understand the individual, you would know that it's not a negative, or it's not intended to be negative, right? Got me, Howard?
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, man, I didn't take nothing but it. I say I ain't got nothing against you. Praise God for you, a decent woman. I still like you. That's what I tell her.
Right. But what like God said, you're not here to be liked, right?
No.
You're here to speak.
I have to
truth power.
respond to based upon the information I receiving.
Right.
Because it don't matter what I think. I don't live in Elizabeth.
Right.
So the people
And-
from
and-
Elizabeth.
and the reality is.
Let me read
the
this while you're
reality
here.
is-
Listen to this when the people text me. Let me read this. It says, Howard, no wonder when I criticize Jobette Colby, you never read my text. I'm glad you disclose that you like her, but she is gone. Maybe then she can have enough time to answer her phone and her emails that she often neglects. There's a text that I'm reading. I didn't
That's
write
evidence.
this. I didn't
That's
write
evidence
this.
of what we're speaking about.
Praise God.
And just to get back now to what I wanted to speak to. Now, Howard, not everybody in any constituency is going to like any one individual. As a matter of fact, the highest standard of a likable and lovable person who was all love and no sin was Jesus Christ when he walked the earth, when he came down in spirit to walk the earth. And he wasn't even liked by all mankind, right? Today, they lift him up, and what they did to him the next day, Howard, and God?
Crucify him.
They crucify him. Crucify him and hang him. So judge it as man. But that's not the intent. The intent is always to do the best that you can on behalf of Bahamian citizens, the length and breadth of this country. And I believe, Howard, that Minister, the Honorable Jobert Colby Davis, is one of those ministers in the Davis administration who is doing just that, who is putting her foot and her hands to the wheel and doing some real heavy lifting, who is looking back in the rearview and turning her head back and trying her best to pull some people forward, right? I believe that she's one of them who you can have honest and frank conversations with, who ain't just hop in their feelings like little children or little girls, right? I believe that she is one of them who's working hard on behalf of the Bahamian people. And you can tell by the portfolios that she carries, the level of responsibility and weight
that she's entrusted with. Yes, I agree.
That she, precisely, that same level of confidence she enjoys at another level. But I'm one, Howard. I'm one. I'm going to speak truth to power. Mm-hmm. And if you're lousy, I'm going to say, I find you to be unacceptable.
All right, so when we go, and watch me, Anton, because my line's lit up. Watch me now. In October, when we get down the line, I want you call in with one word, lousy. Just tell me now. Howard, lousy. It don't matter if they F&M or PLP. Just call in and say, Howard, lousy. All right, Howard, thanks. Great day.
That's language. That's irresponsible language. We are on the Guardian.
No, but you just say lousy and just try to be decent. Howard, lousy.
We don't use that kind of foul language. We are responsible. We are honest, but we're responsible people, which is why I continue to support the Guardian, because I like what the Guardian stands for.
I appreciate you.
All right?
I appreciate you, Anton.
And so, Howard, I'm going to continue to listen, but I just wanted to highlight, as the conversation was on my woman of business, I wanted to highlight Minister, the Honorable Jobert.
Tell I get call. I need some things right now. Praise God.
And Howard and God. Y'all get at me?
Yeah, we're right here.
I pray that the people of the constituency, the great constituency of Elizabeth, seek to work with the Honorable Minister, Jobert Colby Davis.
We can see what they say.
Give her a second opportunity to continue to work that she's demonstrating. Not that she's talking, that she's demonstrating. Because plenty people are talking, but they aren't demonstrating, Howard. That's where I have a problem. Plenty people in PLP are promising, but are not delivering. Their word is turning to be rotten.
In the PLP. Anton, you got a lot of conversation now. I got to let you go. I appreciate your telephone call. Let me get the next telephone call. Caller, go ahead. Caller, go ahead. Next caller, go ahead.
Good afternoon. How you doing, Howard?
Hi, good, man. Thanks so much for holding.
All right. You know, like with these conversations, right, I looking carefully, and I don't know if the people are so-called intellect, understand the gravity of what's going on in our country. Like, for example, the F&M, one of the former MPs is in trial now to give an account for $15 million worth of contract, right? Before, when the F&M was in, they brought one of the PLP MPs before the court. He was shuffled off on Bankley and Sheen gets it. Now, in the PLP right now, a lot of the top officials are being accused where the allegations to the point where in our legal system, we are literally bringing people from overseas to have investigations done. Like, I mean...
Hold on, this is within the government sector.
But when you look at it from a global perspective, the democracy in the West that we are using, it even ain't working in the countries where we adopted it from. And hello?
Yeah, I'm right here. Go ahead.
And I'm sitting here thinking about how in the world we could, like, if we having these conversations, we could overlook these, like, look, the the detrimental dire state this country is in, especially with the push to deregulate, to not allow the American dollar to be the number one dollar in circulation with the advancement of BRICS. And I don't understand why, first, a lot more of the political pundits aren't doing these investigations and having these investigation pieces, and then really dissecting the state of our position globally. I would just like to say, I believe two reasons why people don't, on the political and a public level, don't speak the truth. One is because of sincere ignorance, or because they are being strong down. So when I listen to the radio, I don't know what this is, what is being propagated and talked about. I think it's like almost like childish, like talking points.
I like your contribution, my brother. I do appreciate it. I thank you being able to contribute. We'll go against you. We're going to talk more about that and dive into that. And we're doing our best here, right? You said it's genuine. You believe that it's either genuine ignorance or you believe that people are being stronged on. Well, I could say for Guardian Radio, 96.9, where I'm at, I had an opportunity to be able to be strong arm in other places. Amen. I already take directive in other spaces, but here we have the liberty and access to be able to have real conversation. Dive deeper into it. Let's take a quick break and be right back after this.
The foundation. Foundation.
Attention pizza lovers! Marco's is getting bigger and better! We're offering a deal that can't be missed. Head in and order a mouth-watering large one-topping pizza for just $10. You heard right, just $10. This offer is only available at our Southwest, Burnett Road, Robinson Road, and Prince Charles locations. Call in or order online and pick up in restaurant today. This amazing carry-out offer is available for a limited time only.
It's time to upgrade the way you enjoy at-home entertainment. Alive Fiber is here. Enjoy all your favorite channels and streaming apps, all at lightning-fast internet speeds with affordable bundles, and it's only a click away. Visit www.alivefiber.com to sign up now. Stay connected, live your life. It's good to be alive.
The Grand Bahama News is available every Tuesday in the Nassau Guardian. You can buy your local paper at Freeport Convenience Stores, Western Bakery, De Gregory's Fine Foods, and Bellevue Gifts. Now is the time to reach your Grand Bahama Market with affordable packages, including print and digital. Call GB News Sales Representative Kavandre at 822-6717 or message him on WhatsApp for ad rates. Classified ads are now available every Tuesday as well. Keep up with everything Grand Bahamian every Tuesday in the Nassau Guardian.
Want to know more about divorce, personal injury, wills, company formation, conveyances, and mortgages? Then sign up for Hallsbury Chambers' 20th Annual Free Legal Clinic, Saturday, September 28th, 2024, Village Road North. Call 393-4551 to reserve your spot today. Space is limited. Lawyers available from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Consultations only. This is a community service event sponsored by Hallsbury Chambers.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant and your company, The Foundation, live and in full effect. We're here on this Wednesday just being able to chop it down and have a good conversation. I got a text just now. It says, Howard, what is this guy talking about that foreigners came in to investigate the PLPs, right? Now, I suppose, that's why I said, oh, no, that you mean the government. And I suppose that he meant what was happening within the Royal Bahamas Police Force and that investigation that ensued and being able to identify and get to the bottom of the allegations that's been levied against one of the senior members in the Royal Bahamas Police Force, right? And so the entire country has seen that, and we know the position that is taken. But it seems like it was a little bit convoluted when he started to say one thing. People won't go. They want to understand these things. So that's the text is coming through. I'm not going to fight you. I'm sitting here with Garth. Garth, talk to me, Garth. Put these things on the table. We're talking about these things. We're talking about our members of parliament. We're talking about these things, and it's going to be difficult. It's going to be tight, but it's going to be right as we move forward to October 1st. I'm telling you, October 1st, we're going to chop this down. Tuesday, October 1st will be the introductory conversation. I think the first person that we have out the gate is Leroy Major. Is that the first? I don't know. I don't have the schedule before me.
That's Southern Shores.
Yeah, I don't have the schedule before me, but you can go and check it out at thefoundation242.com. Thefoundation242.com. Right at the bottom there, you'll see sort of a snapshot of the spreadsheet that I created, and you'll see the name of the person. You see their constituency. You'll see everything. You'll see the day that I'm going to be talking about them. So it'll be October 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, so forth and so on. So you can be able to see that right there on thefoundation242.com. Thefoundation242.com. All the information's in there. So when you're there, please take the poll. Just take the poll. It's going to be a very quick poll. Please take the poll. I don't ask you none of your personal information. I don't ask who your ma is, what color your eye is, where your blood, you give blood lately. I don't ask none of these things. We just ask that we want to be able to collect as it relates to what's happening in your constituency. All right? Participate in these things. Thefoundation242.com. Go ahead, Garth.
Well, I think it's a great move, but I have to be very honest that I began to change some of my predictions based on non-performance of the Royal Opposition. I felt they were in an extremely good position right after their convention. I liked what I was seeing in terms of the energy that I saw. And then when it dropped, I'm like, my God, it doesn't look too promising that you adjusted a bit, and so did one of our friends who called in on the break that, we're looking for a nomination. The service, of course, we're always willing to serve. But the one thing you could be assured of.
God.
The one thing you could be assured of.
Speak with clarity.
What I'm saying to you, I'll tell you one thing. Well, I
am willing to serve.
No, I would be willing to serve.
Okay, good.
But the thing about it is this, Howard. I promised Jesus.
Okay.
This is a promise to Jesus.
Glory to God.
That I will never sit in any class to participate in such. And they got classes. The PLP had classes.
That's only for the surface. The PLP had they had a tremendous amount of people, only 39 people getting
When you talk about class, there's more classes. I did 9 years at university. You think I would see another classroom?
Don't worry about it.
No, man, no more class for me. I'm not doing it. Huh?
That ain't for everybody.
I know they ain't supposed to be for everybody, but they look as if this was a requirement.
That's for the enthusiasts. You go in the class, they could identify your diligence. They could say, oh, this one could be a good director, or this one could be a good chairman for this particular thing. And so the PLP will always give you an opportunity. That's one thing I know about the PLP. I identify.
Find something else for me to do.
I tell my good friend Gerard Davel when he was vying for a position in Pinewood. Don't forget. Gerard
was vying. He was the one of that video with the 00000 for Ruben Ramin. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't see the video, right?
You didn't see that one?
Gerard was vying for Pinewood. He started off at an independent standpoint.
So he wanted to have the water trucks, and he was going to pump the water. But
he had a whole idea.
But they're doing it, though. They did it.
Yeah.
The last time they used the sewer trucks to pump the water out of Pinewood. That was his idea.
Yeah. So I look at that. Gerard, me and him had a very honest, candid conversation.
Listening.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Gerard is a good friend, right? When his wife died, we gave him space. We did everything, and it was a sad moment
He's
to see
a strong
exactly
fellow, a strong young man.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
When Gerard sat here and his enthusiasm leading up to that space, even when I was on the other station over there.
Mm-hmm. On the hill?
No.
On Carmichael?
On Carmichael, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even when I was at that other space, he would come in and we would talk. He initially had long hair, right?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, man. He had his hair plot down and whatnot, like a young man.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. He cut his hair. He changed his entire look. I watch him transform before my eyes.
Wow.
Right? And it was a strong one, but he still is strong and opinionated. And I said
Very
to him,
much
the PLP will not give you the nomination. That's what I said to
told
him.
him that?
I tell him he's my good friend. I didn't lie. I'm not lying to you. I tell you that. I said the PLP will not give you the nomination. I said, but the PLP will make sure you get straight.
And you were right in that
The
prophecy.
PLP does. This is what they've done historically. If you commit yourself and you put your name on the line for the organization accepts you in and they take care of you.
You're saying that doesn't
They
happen?
take care of you.
You say that doesn't happen
They
in the
take
FNM?
care of Kingsley.
So what happens in the FNM?
The FNM is throw you out to dry like a conch on the line after they then beat you. And then eventually, if they decide to cook rice, they can come looking for you. But other than that, you out there in the sun getting burned. That's what happens. This is the Free National Movement.
But Michael Pindar said he's going to change the culture. That's what he said. He said that. That's what this thing about change is coming. He said it's coming. It's inevitable.
Let me
it's
take a
unstoppable.
telephone call.
He says it's unstoppable.
Caller on the line, go ahead.
Hey, what y'all saying?
Everything good, what's up?
Thank God for life, for sure.
What's up, Papa?
Tell me something. You what's your name? Kendi, your dame. She ran away for the PLP. Y'all get it there?
No, I didn't see anything. I look right now. Hold on, let me see.
Nothing in the face. That was Monday.
I can look right now.
What you think about the interview with the Prime Minister and Clint Watson? Any of y'all watch it? God?
No, Garth didn't watch that.
I didn't watch it either.
I didn't.
I think it was a bit too strong politically.
I saw some clips, but I didn't see it.
Questions. Huh?
When y'all want me to tell this story about my position, anyway, one of these days I get. One of these days I can tell the story about the desire. I mean, about the offer to come to ZNS.
I think you start to tell us before, no?
I can tell you the whole thing.
You can let us know the whole thing, eh?
Yeah. As we get closer to where we got to get to, I can let you know the whole thing, and
Tell
then
me
I
something.
can't sell out.
How you all feel? Tell me something, God and Howard. How you feel about? Listen, I mean, what do you name? Fred Mitchell and others talking about the PLP need another 5 years to finish do some of the things what they're doing. They let us know some of the things what they promise us ain't important right now. It's some more important things. But you have any feeling like? Y'all have any feeling like with like how it was with Dr. Minnis? Like he say these things to them, but they say they need more time, but they still have more time. We give them a mandate to do the work. I wonder why do they call these early elections when they know things ain't right and there's a lot of more work to do. What they trying to tell us when they talk about or they give us the idea like they about to call a general election. How you feel about that, Howard?
No, I can say this. Fred Mitchell has the responsibility as the chairman of the organization to be able to keep the organization enthusiastic and always looking forward. There are people who only breed and live and eat politics. And so he has to feed these monsters that exist in his organization. That's what he got to do. These gargoyles that just need to eat the meat of the idea that possibly we can go to election soon. My God, you got to get the party ready. This is his responsibility as a chairman. Now, I don't have no feelings like how I felt with the Free National Movement. I can't lie to you. I can be honest with you.
Yeah, that's what I asked.
I can be honest with you. I don't feel... now, remember, we just came out of the pandemic. We were eager to get out...
Why they keep saying that? Why they keep saying... Why that's
The PLP has some good ideas. I got the book spread open in front of me right now. They got some good ideas. But if they
why
don't...
not just shut up and do your work and continue to work?
They didn't waste 3 years traveling and doing, like the people that say they're traveling and doing all these things. They didn't waste 3 years. 3 years gone.
Yeah, so I mean, that'll be so dumb. I mean, if we get just like with Dr. Minnis, they talk about a new mandate. We just give you a new mandate. We send you into the private sector to go run your business and to go do some sense, because the way how you do business with our money is totally different how you all do your own private firm and your private business. Hello?
Yeah, I right here, Papa. And I don't disagree with you, but I could say to you, I do not feel, and I don't think any of us, if we're going to be honest with ourselves, despite the political position that we choose, I don't think the country feels the same way that we felt under Dr. Minnis.
No. That's what I was telling someone.
We had postpartum depression, lockdown. We had all these things we was going through. We had PTSD. We had the sounds of rain from people in Dorian, and now they lock up in their house. People was going through so much things The country was going through problems, and it wasn't as a result of Dr. Minnis as an individual. It was the circumstances that we're faced with. I don't feel the same way. I just feel like I need some more money. That's all. I just gonna be honest with you.
And that's the point where people have been.
I need more money.
And I don't know if these guys. I don't know if the Prime Minister appreciate that we give them 29 seats, or how much it is? 27? How much? 32 seats, or the 39? It's like I hear the people them and listen to me. I believe what she named Joe with Kobe is the. I talk to the people. She's doing some work, right? Not just in her constituency, but all over the country. The problem is their mannerism, politically, their attitude.
It's heavy what you're saying, Papa.
And listen to me.
It's heavy.
We could do without these kind of people in politics. You understand? In spite of them might win their seat and cause their party to lose, right? So you must understand, this our money, this ain't your money. I don't care how much you think you're a boss lady, or how much business you get, or who you hook up with. You dealing with our money. You come into politics to say you want serving. You know we's a bunch. Some of us crazy. Some of us have different styles.
There's the same gargoyles. They exist.
We work for y'all. We work for y'all to serve. Answer your phone. Answer your email. Why people got to be calling the talk shows and then now you talking about you need more time. You need a mandate. And they ain't sound like they talking about the other 2 years. They talking about they sound like they either election or they want more than the 2 years.
Some of them can get more time, though, Papa.
We ain't pleased with the action.
No, some of them can, and I can be honest with you. I really appreciate your telephone call, Papa.
In spite of Joe but Kobe being a hard worker in that area, the people say she gone. Her attitude politically is stink and rotten. And there's many of them in there, just like Leslie Miller, daughter too, and Seabreeze. The people tired of them. They disappointed and regret even supporting
Papa,
them.
you're saying this even though there's a non-functioning or a lackluster FNM?
Say it again?
You're saying this even in spite there's a non-functioning lackluster FNM?
Boy, you don't know, When the Bahamian people talk, their main thing is it ain't like they voting for the FNM.
We can have a good
will get
conversation.
rid of you.
Yeah.
But you disappoint them, you wouldn't even answer your damn.
Okay,
Papa, we can let you go. I can take this quick break, guys. When we get back, and we can chop these things down right after this.
The foundation. Foundation.
Do you have uncontrollable debt? Are you ready to make that move to Fidelity for a stress-free future? These loans have a built-in savings plan that pays you unbeatable interest. Ask about our debt consolidation loans today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
Wait every Wednesday at Burger King Nassau. Make your Wednesday sizzle and sink your teeth into a flame-grilled beef patty topped with tomatoes, fresh-cut lettuce, mayo, pickles, ketchup, and sliced onions, all on a toasted sesame seed bun with fries for only $5.95, including VAT. This Whopper Wednesday, grab a friend and head down to your favorite BK Nassau location for a flame-grilled Whopper made your way with crisp fries for only $5.95. Burger King Nassau, where taste is king.
Great news! Ron's Electric Motors' new location on Cowpen Road, right next to Island Luck, is open Saturdays and Sundays. So for those needing repairs on electric motors, generators, welding machines, water pumps, battery chargers, electric lifts, transformers, and power tools, Ron's Cowpen Road location can have you up and running on weekends. Don't forget, you can still visit Ron's Electric Motors on Wolf Road and Claridge Road, and now Ron's new location on Cowpen Road. Dial 356-0249 or 323-5267.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
Foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant in your company, the foundation. Here live and in full effect, just being able to chop these things down, sitting with my good friend Garth Roseborough. I see the lines lit up. Let me read a couple of these texts. So this is Howard. It seems like the rundown is emulating what you want to achieve with these MPs and their constituencies. I saw the rundown. I know the rundown. Can I say intimately? Let me be decent. I know that, and I know exactly what they have to do. And I am, I'm flattered that Clint Watson has taken on that kind of a position to do it from that standpoint and being able to do that because he's juggling a lot of stuff, right? I asked myself very quietly, I said to myself, I wonder if Clint Watson has any political aspirations. I asked myself that because he's doing a lot from a media standpoint as a general manager to be identified and really be able to be pulled within the inner courts of what government's business is doing. And then I just asked myself whether or not his aspirations go beyond what his professionalism has placed him. But he's doing a good job, and I can't fight him. Now, the truth of the matter is that ZNS for a very long time has been sort of an arsenal, a tool.
Political weaponry.
Yeah. As a tool. And I don't want to be identified as someone bow or quiver. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, but you see what you have to understand, Howard. You speak about political drought. People sometimes are even victimized. When you get to the oasis where there's now plenty, you have to protect that with everything you got. Clint Watson understands this very well. He's been placed in a position of media substance. People do listen to The Hill throughout the family violence and New Providence, and it has its influence. He has to go ahead now and be that agent, as it were. It is up to the Bahamian people to understand how politics works, that there are others out there who are now in a drought. Many Bahamian families are in a drought. A lot of the challenges, increased taxes, there's a higher cost of living. And what Papa spoke to was just the simple act of being focused. You have to ask yourself the question, our opposition leader said, lackluster performance. I've been hurting for the last 3+ years. Now, what is my resolve? My resolve don't care what the heck Clint Watson has to say on their station. We're listening to Howard Grant, the foundation. We're listening to what other people are saying, and we're going to make a determination that it doesn't matter into power. We just simply want this one gone. This is what I'm hearing from Papa. Is this the sentiment of the entire island?
Papa, who gone hard for the PLP?
Yeah. So now what Howard is saying to you is this. We're hearing you. We're listening. That's something that parliamentarians seldom do. And guess what is going to happen? Based on our conversation with you, you call into the show, we are going to now discover and find out what the truth really is. How are you feeling?
And that's what the letters was today. The letters was, I distributed the letters to let them know, Bulla, we can be talking about you on this day, at this time. Now, you could have your people call in, or you could call in, or I'd love you to come and sit down in the studio with me and join me, or call into the studio and be able to join me. If you don't wish to do that, that's fine.
We're still going to talk with you.
But we can deal with your constituency.
We're going to talk with you.
We're going to deal with that. Now, either you sit with me or you still get the thing. Talk to me. Let's just be decent. All right, somebody texts me and says, Howard, just don't drink that water over at ZNS because there's something in the water. Then they put a couple of these flags.
Behave it.
Y'all are wilding out.
So says,
Howard, now is now. What are you texting? Now is the now to place yourself. I suppose now is the time to place yourself in position to get your appointment after the next election. The government rewards talk show hosts handsomely. Okay. I don't know what that means. It's Howard. How is non-ethical practices in journalism signal a good job, Howard? What are you talking about? Non-ethical practices in journalism signals a good job. Wow. I'm not going to fight you. Tell me more about it. Text me with more information. Ask Anton which PLP MP isn't working hard and will not retain their seat. The mere fact that Joe Beth approached you in the aggressive, but no. Let me fix this. She didn't approach me. I didn't take it as aggressive. I thought it was in jest, and we were laughing at first. But then she maintained a particular thing, right? I didn't fight. No, it wasn't a problem. She said, yes, the mere fact that Joe Beth approached you in an aggressive manner, accusing you that you're an F&M and other things, is speaking volumes of her character. She called me an F&M. She said, you all F&M? Please call Michael Pintard. Ask him if I put any application in for the F&M. Call Dwayne Sands and ask him if I put any application in for the F&M. I tell you, I sit in the space of neutrality. As a Christian, praise God. That's the only thing that'll apply to me at this time. Government has to be decent, right? So it says, Howard, can the opposition be effective when the deputy prime minister says opposition will have say, but the government will have their way, right?
Very
and then
cocky.
it says the prime minister was trying to control the media, telling them to only put positive stories in the headlines. Boy, Howard, you and Garth, forget it. And they do all this with a smile on their faces. Now, the supermajority that exists in the House of Assembly places them with a sense of autonomy.
Yeah, but half of them had the same autonomy.
Of course they did.
And they,
So much so that they even changed the name of the prime minister.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
He had become the competent authority.
Oh yes.
Okay, that supersedes anything.
And he wanted to know if he could fish
So
from,
if
from
there's
the
only
moon and
one
catch
competent
fish.
authority, then all of us else we non-competent. We lack the competence.
Yes, sir.
And so we've already been placed in a subservient positions, rendering ourselves to the beckoning and just praying that this man make a good decision for us.
You know what I do like, Howard? I must confess my sins before you close your show. I like how Brave made that transition from never hardly being here to being here now and all over the place. I saw Brave sitting in the ambulance and all.
Brave is going to win his seat.
But even ambulance,
I don't care what nobody says.
Ambulance coming next thing, you got a new fire truck coming. He ain't playing.
The prime minister will win his seat.
If
I don't have to support him to know this.
Yeah, but the PLP stepping up his game.
Brave Davis is doing what he needs to do, and I think he's waiting until the true cavalry comes. I think he has to kind of swim through an outdated mindset of what politics is in our country. He's doing his best. God, I don't have enough time, but I can touch this quickly. Brave Davis has identified the next transition in this country. He's empowered young people and gave them opportunity to participate in the PLP and gave them position that they never thought they would have.
Mm-hmm.
They are now empowered and they understand this. Even some of them may be driving for some of these politicians. They have never power. Brave Davis understands what's going to happen next. If he's not working fast enough for us, it's because he have a lackluster team that he's chosen around him now. I can shoot straight with you.
Mm-hmm.
He has to wait until some of these people die out. And I say die out, get washed away with this wave. That's going to happen in November 26th. And whatever he retains, then he can start to really build the PLP that he envisions. At this time, he's using a lot of old parts, the old wineskins, an old mindset. Now, it might not necessarily be in the form of these people face, but their mindset is that this is the way politics goes. They don't even see the necessity to move to the next thing. Brave recognizes that.
But
He ain't saying nothing.
just did, though.
He ain't saying nothing.
But you realize what you just did, subconsciously?
What?
You also identified the F&M's issue.
Of course.
Michael Pintard wants to do
But
the same thing, but he can't
Michael
move.
Pintard's issue is that he can't. It is not his team. He has to wait for something else to be able to be washed away, or someone else.
What do you need? You need Monster. You need.
Let me
Viagra.
take this last
What do you
telephone
need?
call before we get it
You
here.
need-
Call
you need
on
to
the
get
line. Go
going.
ahead. You got 2 seconds. Call on the line. Go ahead. Call on the line. Go ahead. You got 2 seconds. You got 6. It's how. So, I think a lot of persons. There's a transition that's coming in this country. There's a political transition that's coming in this country. Let me see if I can read this text. So I said okay, and I said I didn't read it. It says, "My grade on the government of the economy, growth and development is a B+, but support and development of the Bahamians is a D+." Wow.
That's an honest statement.
Wow. Brother Grant, I send you a text message. Please read it. I read it, okay? So it says, let me see what else you got here. Somebody texts me and says, Tommy Turnquest led the Free National Movement from the Senate in 2002 to 2005. And then I text back to them. I said, I know. And what happened there? What happened there? Okay, good. Let's just be very clear, okay? So if you're preparing yourself, because the Free National, see, I don't want to do this because Michael Pintard is my friend, and I don't want him to think that I'm trying to be able to agitate to see some things.
I like the way you put it.
We are ready hearing things on the ground. Michael Pintard is my friend, but we are ready to hearing some things on the ground. You understand? That there is a design that they will endure, the Free National Movement seeking to endure his leadership to get to the leadership that they acquire, that they desire, that those who have monies will support. We've already heard this information.
So Michael Pintard is your friend, and the F&M is your friend.
No. I didn't say the
You didn't say
FNM is
that?
my
I
friend.
mean, he is the FNM.
No.
He's
Michael
your friend.
Pintal is an individual, and we will find that out very quickly when the FNM decides to go contrary. Yeah. No, that's just to be
Why
straight.
you got such broad shoulders, man? Why you can't just slack it off for 1 minute?
No, I want to be decent because political categories, and the FNM don't do nothing for me. The PLP don't do nothing for me. Only Jesus is do things for me. Amen.
The foundation.
That's it. That's why I could sit here and be able to be vulnerable and honest with you and get cuss out because I'm having these honest conversations with you.
But Howard, when you're
and
ready,
I don't have a problem with it.
When you're ready, Howard, please come to South Beach, eat some sea grapes, and then see why we
I'm
need
not
a toilet.
going to eat no pissy sea grapes,
See
sir.
why
You
we need a
wilding
toilet,
out today.
man. So just help
You
South
are
Beach out.
wilding out today.
That's all they want from Barker's Road. That's all they
You
want.
talking about they
from-
sweet?
Yeah, they're very sweet.
My
I
God.
see the fellas I'm taking and they sucking it.
You are wilding
This is the
out.
Bahamian thing, you know.
Ah.
They say the closer it is to the septic, the sweeter the fruit.
But you know something, that's
All
not a
them
lie.
avocado tree.
My grandmother had a mango tree, an avocado tree. She had a mango tree, a tangerine tree, and a hog plum tree by the hog pen.
By the hog pen.
By the hog pen.
And they're sweet.
And a little small cherry tomatoes right in the back. The vine used to run right where the slop used to be. The sweetest tomatoes in there.
It's a Bahamian thing, folks.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the show today. I want to thank you so very kindly for being able to choose us and being able to tune in with us today. I want to thank all my sponsors for being able to tune into the show. Shouts out to all those persons. Tomorrow's going to be Small Business Thursday. We got Ian coming in the house. We got a couple persons coming in there. We set it up to have good conversation. So if you want to, I think I have maybe 1 15-minute slot. If you want to be able to get that and want to partake in what we're doing here, 827-0111, 827-0111. Thank you guys so much for being able. Joe Bet, you was my friend, baby. Praise God for you.
Don't
I still
forget
love
Remark.
you, baby.
Remark on Sunday.
Remark on Sunday. God, Joe Bet, I still love you, baby. And all of y'all, if the people say these things, we can bring the things.
Yes,
Gonna see y'all tomorrow, Godspare, right here on the Foundation, 96.9 FM. See you tomorrow, Godspare.
The Foundation.